as a business owner, you might have team members, right? Yeah, maybe one or two. And how do you manage them and keep them happy? That's what I want to talk about in this video today. How to manage a team. I'm Nancy Ganzikoffer, business coach and body language trainer, and I have been managing teams since I was in my 20s. At the time I was in a banking career, I had at one point 3 departments of a total of 150 people. It's one of the things I love to do because it's important not only to hire a team as you're growing your business, it's important to keep them happy and keep them motivated to work for you. So how do you do that? Let's discuss that next. But first, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you will get notified of future videos. Now I have 2 Facebook groups, one for interior designers called the Interior Design Business Forum, and one for coaches and consultants who are trying to grow their businesses called the Coaching Hotspot. If you're not a member there, click the links below and go join. In both those groups, there's often questions about how to hire, how to fire, how to manage a staff, keep them motivated, keep them on schedule, keep them on track. So I want to give you some tips today on how to do that. Now, I know there's all types of information about how to manage a team out on the internet, and now I'll be one of them here on YouTube. But I want to tell you that you want to become friendly with your staff, but not always friends. There is a difference. In other words, I want you to know about their home life. Once they're hired, ask them here and there about what's going on at home, what's new and exciting, how are their kids, how's their spouse, what do they like to do as hobbies? I like to know a little bit about my staff's home life, and I want them to know a little bit about mine. Why? Because it keeps them familiar with me and me familiar with them and what they're going through, and it gets that personal feeling, especially in a time where sometimes your staff is virtual and sometimes your staff is in person. In both cases, how do you get that feeling that you're friendly but also motivated and keeping them on target with the work goals? Because let's be honest, somebody who talks about their personal life too much could drive you crazy. So you want to have that nice balance. What I try to do is meet with each of my staff members once a week. 15 minutes, that's all. Just to say hello, how are you, how's everything going, any problems with the workflow. Also, tell me what's going on in your personal life. It's amazing when I hear about the hobbies that what my staff has, the things that they like to do that I never even knew they liked to do. And some of those things have actually benefited my business. And I'll give you one of those as an example. In one of my weekly meetings with my staff member, about 2 years ago, I said, what are some of the things you like to do in your free time? And she said, when I watch TV at night, I love doing Pinterest. And I was like, really? You love Pinterest? Like, I never go on Pinterest, but I would love to have a Pinterest for the business. She was so excited. She's like, you know what? I would love to handle that. So in addition to everything else she was handling, she took on a whole nother project to up our Pinterest board for my business. What was the result? Within a year, we had over 1 million views a month on our Pinterest account, and it was the #1 driver to our website. So just by getting to know my staff, getting to know a little bit about their hobbies and their personal life and what they like to do in their free time, I found out a skill that they love to do that could actually benefit my business. That might happen to you too. What if you find out one of your employees who doesn't do any writing loves to write? Maybe they could end up doing your blog for you. Or maybe they love social media and you didn't even know it, and they want to handle your social media, even though that's not what you originally hired them for. When you actually get to know a little bit about your staff, it's amazing how it makes them feel closer, more dedicated to you and your business and the growth of your business. But it also makes them sometimes do extra little jobs for you that they enjoy so much that it makes the more mundane job requirements okay. It balances it out. It makes them happy. As you're building this relationship and talking to them about their home life and their hobbies and things that they like, remember that this is all about relationship building. And relationship building is the #1 thing you want to do with your staff. Now let's talk about team benefits. It's important to think through in advance whether you are someone as a boss, as a leader, whether you're going to acknowledge people's birthdays, or you're going to send them gifts, or you're going to give bonuses for exemplary months, do you have an incentive program of some kind? You want to think this through in advance so that you can let your staff know that you're a leader who shares the wealth, right? It could be a little gift once a year, it could be a bonus once a year around the holidays, it could be acknowledging their birthdays, sending a gift. What would you like to do? Now, I'm not really big on gift giving. It's just me personally, and I hope my staff doesn't mind. But what I always like to do is acknowledge their special days the best that I can, and also give a bonus around the holiday time. That's personally what I do. When my clients call me and go, I don't like the fact that my staff knows how much money I made on that particular job, or I don't want them to know how much somebody else makes, or how many sales that we have done, I always say to them, listen, if you have a dedicated staff and you're a genuine leader and you are happy for when your staff does something great and when something happens good for them, usually they're happy for you too. And certainly, as I mentioned before, if you're giving some type of a bonus at times during the year, I think for the most part, your staff is going to be happy that their hard work has contributed to the growth of your company. You're still the person responsible for the growth of this company and for the success of this company. And that comes along with lots of expenses, lots of anxiety, sleepless nights, and spending money to get your business to the next level. So although you're afraid sometimes to tell your staff, wow, we did a great job, we made more money on that job, we made a little less money on the other, I find that transparency really works best because they feel part of the company's success, part of your success. So try not to be too secretive. I really find that secretive makes people annoyed because they want to celebrate with you. So let them. Now, my last point is actually a really important one. It is expensive to bring on new staff members. Why? Because not only do you have to do the onboarding process of getting them set up in all your systems and passwords and emails and phone numbers and maybe even business cards, it depends on your business, but training them, the time it takes you to train them or another staff member to train them is expensive, and it's well worth it if it's done right. Now, let's say you have an employee or a staff member or a team member who is not quite holding their own, right? They're not managing their own job very well. I always encourage all my clients to ask them, what can I do as the leader, as the owner of the company, to help you do your job better? I would rather you take an extra 1 or 2 or 3 steps to get them trained properly than you letting them go and hiring, because it's costing you more to hire and retrain if it's possible. And listen, it's not always possible, but I want you to think to yourself, is there anything I can do to help that person do a better job? Is there a training I can purchase for them or just make accessible to them? Is there just time I need to give them to learn a new system rather than hiring them and rushing them through, get this done, and how come you don't know this yet? Allow yourself and your new team members to have time to get acclimated to their new jobs. Let them gain the knowledge a little more slowly than just slamming them into getting things done on a time frame. If you can spread it out a little bit, you will have a much happier, well-trained, long-term team member, and that's what we really want. So let me know if you have any questions about how to manage a team, because this is one of the things that I love to do. Right now, my team is 7 or 8 people. I meet with every single one of them every week for 15 minutes just to say, hey, how's everything going? What's going on in your life? Sometimes the meeting's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 15. Rarely does it go over that. And even though I have a manager who they go to when they have a problem or an obstacle with work, they still know me as the owner of the company, and they know my door is always open and they can talk to me during our meetings. So stay connected with your staff, and remember, it's important for them to feel part of the team, not you just being the dictator, but you actually being a leader of a wonderful team. If you do this right, you won't believe the difference it makes in your life and in your business. Again, don't forget to subscribe if you found this helpful, and comment below what your struggles are with your teams, because this will give me ideas for future videos. See you next time.